because it's not made from cow's milk, therefore it's not cheese. Sumptuous mushrooms. Do I sound like Noella Lawson? Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Chantal and this is Meet and Eat, where I sometimes meet people, but I mainly eat. I'm meeting you guys, that's what I'm doing, I'm meeting you. There's not a lot of meeting going on at the moment though, is there? Because of old Corona, so I hope you're staying well and safe. If you're new here, then please, thank you, welcome. These are my Veganuary videos that I'm going to be playing or posting throughout January. So if you're already vegan, you can share with your non-vegan friends and family, so they in turn can hopefully also go vegan, because that is my intention with this channel, to turn people vegan and give current vegans lots of recipe inspiration, so they stay healthy, they stay vegan, they stay enjoying food, which will make sure they stay vegan, because if they don't enjoy the food, they're not going to stay vegan. And vegan food is tasty, it is delicious, and people always worry about what they're going to eat when they go vegan. So I am here to show you that vegan food can be tasty. It is tasty. There are so many meat substitutes out there now. There's so many reasons to go vegan. I was a recipe creator for the past 3 years for some vegan magazines. So I've got a lot of experience cooking food for people to read and make themselves. So you can trust me, okay? Today, I'm going to be making for you guys quesadillas. They're going to be super easy, they're going to be super tasty, and I'll talk you through how to do them with my trusty friend, the Hob. So, first of all, onions. I'm going to put them in the pan with a bit of oil. And the important thing is to remember when cooking is that we season our food with salt and pepper. And salt and pepper is vegan. So if we're seasoning food with salt and pepper, then you can season any food and make it taste like the food we're used to with seasonings. So get the flavour into your recipes right from the off. That is my first tip to make tasty food that is also vegan, because this is food that is tasty and also happens to be vegan. It's just get the flavour in there from the start, because seasonings like salt, pepper, we've got some paprika today, we've got some cumin, all these seasonings are vegan, okay? You're seasoning whatever you're eating already that's not vegan with these seasonings, so just switch it up and use an alternative. That's basically it with vegan food. There are so many alternatives out there, and because this is quesadillas, we're going to be using mince in this recipe, but we're not using vegan mince, which is readily available. You can get it from all supermarkets, mostly in the frozen section. Supermarkets are now doing their own vegan version of mince. Be careful not to get something like corn mince, because it's not vegan, it's got egg in, and it trips people up when they first go vegan. They buy vegan corn mince and it trips them up. I don't particularly like it either, it's not very good. There, I said it. But supermarkets' own mince is very tasty, that's vegan. Iceland do it, Tesco's do their own, Morrison's do their own. However, today, I'm going to be using the trusty chestnut mushroom as the base for my mince. Do not dismiss it. If you don't like mushrooms, use vegan mince. But if you do like mushrooms, I'm going to show you how to flavour these mushrooms so they taste delicious. And once we've built all our quesadilla up, you won't even realise they're mushrooms anyway. So I'm going to start by using a vegan stock cube. This might look like a beef oxo stock cube. It is not, okay? It is, wait there, I'll show you what it is. It's an oxo meat-free beef flavour cube. That is vegan, okay? There are so many things available to us nowadays, and this is one of the fantastic things that OXO have brought out that consider us vegans, and the fact that we like flavour too. So thank you, OXO, very considerate of you. So I'm just going to crumble that vegan beef stock cube. I know you're probably arguing with me right now, it's not beef if it's vegan. Well, it's beef flavour, it's dead cow flavoured, okay, which is essentially just rich flavours of spices, rich flavoured spices, that's basically what it is. And it's going to give this meal a really tasty background flavour. Next up, we're going to add my favourite seasoning, smoked paprika. I don't have much of this left, so I'll have to go to the zero waste shop and top it up, but I'll probably use about a tablespoon of that. And the fantastic thing about smoked paprika is it gives dishes a really lovely, rich, smoky flavour. Deep, rich, dare I say it, meaty sort of flavour. So that's going in there as well. A bit of cumin, because these are quesadillas and we want to get those Mexican flavours in there. So I'm just going to cook those spices off before I add our delicious mushrooms. So like I said, these are going to form the base of our quesadillas today instead of mince. But please feel free to do everything that I've just done here, but then add vegan mince. I'm just showing you an alternative to meat substitutes because not everyone likes meat substitutes. So I'm here to show you other options. I'm covering all bases because I literally want there to be no excuse. Okay? So what we're going to do now is just let these mushrooms cook off, and I'll come back to you when they've softened a little and add the rest of the ingredients, okay? So my mushrooms have been cooking for a few minutes now, and they're a lot darker and deeper in colour, and they're starting to look like some sort of meaty sort of thing, okay? So what I'm going to do is add some black pepper, because I think black pepper also gives dishes a really, I hate using the word meaty. When I say meaty, I'm referring to vegan meat, okay? Meaty flavour. So I've added some black pepper there because it gives it a sort of robust background flavour. Oops. And some garlic powder. You can use fresh garlic there if you want. I just have some garlic powder in the cupboard, and it's super easy to have. It's a great way of adding flavour really easily without having to chop anything. And it lasts longer than fresh garlic, although I do really love fresh garlic. So now I'm going to add, it might seem a bit strange, but tomato ketchup, okay? Now you don't have to use tomato ketchup, you could use tomato puree, but then add a bit of sugar because tomato puree can be quite sharp and acidic because of the tomatoes. So using tomato ketchup just brings the sweetness to it and the tomatoey flavour that we want, okay? And then I'm going to add, so I've added smoked paprika, a beef stock cube, cumin, garlic powder, pepper, tomato ketchup. I'm now going to add some chopped peppers, which is completely optional, but I always feel like this sort of food has pepper in, and I like pepper. I love the crunch it gives things, but again, it's completely optional. Just like the mushrooms are optional, you could use vegan mince. You don't have to use mushrooms at all. You can build your quesadilla with without any mince or any mince substitute, because we've got other things going into our quesadilla that will make it delicious, okay? So I'm just going to let that cook off, and then it's pretty much done. Then we can start assembling our quesadilla, and I'll show you how to do that, okay? So my mushrooms have now gone to this sort of been cooked down, and they are some sort of sticky, delicious, savoury, mincy sort of substitute, okay? I am a mushroom lover, not a mushroom fighter, so I can't tell that they're mushrooms. If you're sensitive to mushrooms, you probably won't even be able to tell that they're mushrooms. However, like I mentioned before, you can use vegan mince substitute, okay? So now we're going to start building our quesadillas, okay? And here I have a wrap, which is the base of our quesadillas. Quesadillas are basically those Mexican, would have to say Mexican inspired, because these are not actually Mexican, obviously. And if you are Mexican and I am doing quesadillas a disservice, then I'm very sorry. This is just an inspired dish, okay? But they're sort of tortillas layered and then with another tortilla on top and cooked in a pan, and they've got delicious cheese in the middle, and they're just a sort of tasty snack, or you could take them instead of sandwiches for your lunch, and they're also really easy to make, but with maximum results. So what I'm doing now, as you're probably wondering, I'm spreading some refried beans over a wrap, okay? And then I'm going to put this wrap back into my pan here, okay? Hopefully it just about fits. I'm not sure how I'm going to flip this, because it needs to be flipped so it cooks both sides, but oh well. So that wrap is now in the pan, and that's just going to toast and heat through, and you'll see why I'm doing it like this, okay? Now I've got some cheese, so I'm using Morrison's own free from dairy-free vegan smoked cheese. This is one of my favourites, and I'm just going to grate some cheese, finely grated, because if it's finely grated it melts better, top tip. And if you want a cheese sauce recipe that you could also use in this, I did a Violife nacho cheese sauce recipe in less than 10 minutes, I think it was, on this YouTube channel. So if you want to check that out, that is a really fantastic recipe. That was a popular video. A few of you shared your creations on Instagram with me, and I was super chuffed, and they looked fantastic. So I would highly recommend that. Now I've got my cheese, and that's going to go in the pan. So that's finely grated there, see? And I'm just going to disperse that as evenly as possible on my wrap. And I'll show you what that looks like in a sec. Don't forget to get all the bits from actually inside the grater, because some of them just get lost and then it's a waste of cheese. So, next layer, cheese. The cheese, okay? Cheese. Because it's not made from cow's milk, therefore it's not cheese. It is cheese, because cheese is just a product name, okay? And cheese from a cow is gross. Okay, that's that layer done. Now we're going to add our delicious mushrooms that just don't look like mushrooms anymore. They look like a beautiful dark and velvety mass of deliciousness. Sumptuous mushrooms. Do I sound like Nigella Lawson? Good, I don't want to. So that is going in the pan here. A layer of the mushrooms and peppers. A few of them left, so I could probably make another one out of this. That's what that looks like. Now, next part, very optional. Okay, very optional, because it's spicy and not everyone likes spicy, but they're jalapenos, because jalapenos will give it that little kick that some of us enjoy. And I'm just going to dot them around the surface of my quesadilla. And this is nearly done, okay? just remember that when you are moaning at vegans that their food is so difficult to make and so expensive, just you remember this recipe and just you try it yourselves. Then on goes our little lid. You could probably add another layer of cheese actually there, or maybe, yeah, I'm gonna stick it all together with some more refried beans. Okay, this is like the butter of our quesadilla, refried beans. Okay, I'm gonna spread that around there. If you've never tried refried beans, they're basically pinto beans that have been cooked and then refried, and they're delicious. They're like a savoury sort of hug in your mouth. That's how I would describe refried beans. So that's our little lid going on there. Okay. Now I'm just going to check that this bottom quesadilla. Okay, I don't know how well it's crisping up, but it's certainly heating through. I think I'll turn that up a little. And then we're going to flip this very well, and nothing's going to go anywhere. And then we can enjoy it because it's pretty much done. So you're welcome. Okay, I'm just going to get a plate to flip this onto. So that's a plate bigger than the pan, so it can be flipped. Okay, now watch this. I'm going to stand up for this actually, I think it will be safer. Is that just too much? No, I think I will lose my grip if I do that. Okay, so, ooh, have I done it? Have I done it? Yes, I've done it. Okay, so our top layer of quesadilla is looking nice and crisp now, and it's firmed up. It's nice and crunchy. So we're just going to do the same to the bottom half now. Put it back on that plate, and this is done. So I think this wrap on the bottom is getting nice and toasty because I can almost smell it burning, but it'll be absolutely fine, I promise you. Whew. I surprised myself just then. I didn't think I was going to get it out. So there is our finished quesadilla. How amazing is that? Yes, well done me. And then well done you, because hopefully you will also be making these. Okay, I'm actually going to make one more and show you a slightly different way of doing it. Okay, which is probably even easier. I've got another wrap here, but I'm only going to put refried beans on one half of the wrap. You'll see why. And this is an even easier and even quicker version of what we've just done, because it's half the effort, basically. So a bit more cheese, we'll do it straight onto there. There we are. And then, don't forget the minder whip. Then your mushrooms. Yum, yum, yum. There we are. Super speedy. Super delicious. Okay, we've run out of jalapenos, so what I'm going to do is just now, can you see what I've just done? I've just flipped that over. I'm then going to put that in the pan. I might actually add a tiny bit more cheese to the top so it sticks down, if you understand what I mean. Lots of cheese, vegan cheese, okay? Smoked vegan cheese, so it goes really nicely with the paprika flavours and this delicious smokiness of this dish. So can you see that? Now this is actually cooking on the heat here because the pan's still really hot, so it's actually browned and I don't even have it on the hob. Can you see that? So I will put it back on the hob. And that one can cook. And I'm going to slice this one up to show you. Okay? So, I'm going to go down the middle there. And then down the middle there. And just make sure it's cut properly, otherwise you drag all the fillings out. And there is your delicious quesadilla. Now, we haven't timed that, but it's pretty speedy, isn't it? Should we give it a try? I mean, look at that, guys. Doesn't that look incredible? Vegan. Oh, vegan. I could eat that with just refried beans and cheese. You don't need the mushrooms, but they are such a welcome addition. They only add to it. However, this would be perfectly acceptable without, so that would be cheese and refried beans, and that's it. But we've made one with the mushrooms as well. Which takes a little bit more time, but worth it. Peppers as well. The crunch of the peppers in that. And honestly, you can't tell that that's mushrooms in there. Just look at that. So delicious. Should we have a look at this other one? So it's the same concept basically, but it's just looks like an omelette. Whoops. And that was even quicker, wasn't it? Now imagine if this was just the cheese and the refried beans. It would be even easier than everything that we've done here. And it's more compact because the side is closed in like that. Do you see what I mean? So there's that one. So I would highly recommend, guys, that you give this recipe a try. Please share it with your friends, because these are ingredients as well that you probably already have in the house. And if you're vegan or going vegan, then vegan cheese is available everywhere now. Okay, so pick it up from your local supermarket. Refried beans as well are in most supermarkets. Mushrooms, you can get them everywhere. If you don't like mushrooms, then just don't use mushrooms. Use the refried beans and cheese. And wraps you can get everywhere. Jalapenos, the optional extra. All the spices I've used today, I would highly recommend getting them and having them in your cupboard all the time, because they're a really good base for things like tagines and curries and vegan bolognese and things like that. Okay, so highly recommend giving this a try. I've been making these for years. My mum used to make them for us with just refried beans and cheese as we were kids, and now we just use vegan cheese instead, because it's the only cheese to use basically. Okay, so I've been eating these for years. I've been enjoying them for years, and they never get old. And look at that. You can just take that with you for lunch, couldn't you? Oh, okay. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for some more Veganuary delights like this one. And if you haven't caught up on the rest of my videos, I have lots of videos on there that are really easy microwave recipes and things like that, and DIYs at home and all sorts. And so please check them out, okay? And until next time, folks, stay safe and stay well, and thanks for watching. See you next time.